Okay, so we have a very, very special guest today to wish Hari.
Oh, Hare Krishna. Oh, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Oh, Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj. Hare Krishna Guru Maharaj.
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Bhakta
Bhakta
Hari.
Hari.
Oh my god. Oh my gosh. I'm so surprised. I'm so surprised.
Well, it's a very transcendental atmosphere you have there. Hare Krishna.
This is my mother. This is my mother.
Kripasundave Vachapatitana Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namah. Well, I'm very happy to visit all of you, since nowadays visiting in various communities is kind of like the way yogis who dive into the Ganga on a higher planet and then they go to another planetary system and come out the Ganges. This is very nice what you're doing, having such concentrated effort. Tivrena Bhakti Yogena. You take the concentrated bhakti by such powerful association. I could hear the vibration when I came in. Bhakta Hari, how old are you today?
I'll be turning 21 tomorrow, Guru Maharaj.
21. Wow. Very good. Well, first of all, I offer my respectful obeisances to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and to all of you. And on this day of your birthday, I ask Srila Prabhupada, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan to empower you for spreading the Sankirtan movement and always give you a taste for hearing and chanting and for being a kind friend to all living entities. You're very lucky to have taken birth in a way that you have so much momentum at such a young age. Youthful practice of devotional service with intensity is the guarantee of having enough momentum to make a successful lifetime. Of course, anyone can start at any time, as Katvanga proved to us. But Prabhupada says in the section on Katvanga Maharaj, who took up devotional service within the last moment of his life, that if somebody takes up devotional service early in life with the same enthusiasm as Katvanga, then they're guaranteed of going back to Godhead. So I've seen your enthusiasm for outreach, especially book distribution. I was looking at one of your emails this morning and how you're putting your efforts into organizing and thinking very deeply. It's something that Prabhupada did. It's a service that is very dear to Prabhupada, to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. Prabhupada told us many times in lectures how his guru, when he noticed that even, Prabhupada said, an insignificant member of the mutt, a brahmachari who practically nobody knew the name of, would go out and sell a couple of magazines for a few paisa. Then Srila Bhaktisiddhanta would make a note of it publicly in front of everybody, all the sannyasis, and he'd say, look, he has done a very nice thing. And that was, he glorified the printing press. He put it on his logo for the Gaudiya Math. In fact, I'll show you something. One second.
Best birthday ever.
When I was in Calcutta earlier this year, I visited the Srila Bhaktisiddhanta's mutt, and I especially went there for darshan of the printing press. You know, it was from Cleveland, Ohio.
Yeah.
Siddhanta shipped it over there. And I made friends with one of the mutt basis there, one of the sannyasis who's a descendant of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta. And he gave me this book, which was printed on that same press that's there. They have it in a museum now, copy of the Chaitanya Bhagavat in Bengali. And it just reminded me that we have a legacy that's very thick and sweet. And there are personalities involved who give mercy. And really, you're a recipient of that because of your enthusiasm. I mean, partly, you can't show such enthusiasm without having mercy, and the more you show enthusiasm, the more you get mercy. And so this is really good news that you have so much enthusiasm for devotional service. And so can you tell me a little bit about the Sangha there?
Yes, Guru Maharaj. This is my mother.
Hare Krishna Mataji. So nice to meet you.
So nice to meet you.
Hare Krishna. Hare
This
Krishna.
is my mother Vasanta. She brought me into Krishna consciousness, and by the good association of my father Ramesh Prabhu and my mother Vasanta Mataji, I have some legs to stand on in Krishna consciousness.
Wow.
And this is my grandmother, my father's mother.
Hare Krishna.
She's originally from Karnataka, India, and she brings so much stability to the family, and I'm very grateful to her. This right behind the camera over here is Alec Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Who Alec Prabhu, I suspect arranged everything, and he is one of my greatest friends in Krishna consciousness.
Nice. Good to see
And
you.
here is Darpan over here.
Hare Krishna, Darpan.
He is really, he's like my right-hand man when it comes to Harinam. And he's always there for the Harinam and book distribution. And he's very enthusiastic about Krishna consciousness. And this is Alec's good wife, Shrestha.
Hare Krishna, Shrestha.
And she's originally from Kolkata. And she was, took up the process of Krishna consciousness since birth and really magnified it at Krishna House in Gainesville, Florida, by Kalakanta Prabhu. And back there is Vika,
Hare Krishna.
originally from Belarus, and she took up Krishna consciousness here about 1 month and 3 years ago, because her grandmother is actually a devotee from Belarus.
Wow.
And this is Kajal Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
She's originally from New Hastinapur in Washington, D.C.
Oh,
and in Norfolk, but she's originally from London, from Bhaktivedanta Manor.
I see.
And then that's her good husband, Kapil. And he's a doctor, and he's also very in doing many home programs and everything at his home. And behind them hiding is little Radhika. That's their little daughter.
Radhika,
Hi, Radhika.
how old are you?
She says 6.
6? Okay.
And there's many people. I'm so flustered here that I see people on Zoom. I see Neil. Neil is a good friend of mine. I see Charuta. She's also coming to Krishna consciousness. That's Charuta Mataji.
Hare
She's
Krishna.
a very nice devotee. And Neil Prabhu. Neil Prabhu is from Gujarat, India, and he takes up the process as well. Kruti is also a very kind friend of mine.
Hare Krishna.
There's Neil popping up, and Varnika Chenam Seti. She goes by Ashna. She is very calm and humble soul, and she's very nice. And Kartik Prabhu. I don't know which Kartik Prabhu this is. Kartik Konda. Guru Maharaj, he's actually a result of book distribution. He got a Krishna book, and during COVID, and he's actually been chanting. He's been chanting 8-16 rounds and reading Krishna book very seriously.
All because of Hari Prabhu. All because of Hari.
Not at all. And then Saraswati. Saraswati is also a very good friend of mine. And she's and her mom is a disciple of Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj. So she's
Jai.
very good association.
Jai.
So that's our little small sangha here, Maharaj.
This is powerful sangha. This is heartrending, actually, to meet you all. I mean, this is the essence of life, really, is to come together and participate in the Sankirtan movement, as you're all doing. And Bhagavatam says, Narayana paraksarvena kutaschana bhibyati swarga pavarga narakeshu apitulyarta darshina. For those who are absorbed in service to Lord Krishna, whether you're in heaven or hell, it doesn't matter. It's tulya, it's equal. Because we're not concerned with the external environment. It'll always change, no matter what it is. But when we have this sangha and seva, then we can always be satisfied and happy. And personally, I find that the little cells like you have, very tight-knit family kind of thing, this is the essence of the Krishna consciousness movement. Because here you have very personal connections. You can have very intense hearing and chanting together in a safe environment. And you can also, work together to spread Krishna consciousness, which you're doing really nicely. And leave everything in Krishna's hands. Whatever necessities will come by Lord Chaitanya's arrangement, and whatever growth, it all happens naturally, organically. It's very sweet. There's a beautiful picture of Radharaman there.
Yeah.
Where did you get that picture?
We printed him. He came to us we printed him out at Costco, and we actually, one of my friends from the Radharaman temple, his name is Manas Goswami. He sent me this picture on WhatsApp, and I just had to see him all the time.
Nice. Really beautiful. Well, I'm so glad I got a chance to see you all. I just want to read you a verse from the Bhagavatam, if you don't mind. Do you have a moment?
Yes, Maharaj. We have
Okay.
many moments.
Yes, this verse is from the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's 3:28-32. Hasam harir avananta akila lokativra shokashru sagara vishoshanam atyudaram samohanaya rachitam nijamaya yasya Brumandalam munikrite makara dvajasya. A yogi should similarly meditate on the most benevolent smile of Lord Sri Hari, a smile which, for all those who bow to him, dries away the ocean of tears caused by intense grief. The yogi should also meditate on the Lord's arched eyebrows, which are manifested by his internal potency, in order to charm the sex god for the good of the sages. Purport. The entire universe is full of miseries, and therefore the inhabitants of this material universe are always shedding tears out of intense grief. There is a great ocean of water made from such tears. But for one who surrenders unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the ocean of tears is at once dried up. One need only see the charming smile of the Supreme Lord. In other words, the bereavement of material existence immediately subsides when one sees the charming smile of the Lord. It is stated in this verse that the charming eyebrows of the Lord are so fascinating that they cause one to forget the charms of sense attraction. The conditioned souls are shackled to material existence because they are captivated by the charms of sense gratification, especially sex life. The sex god is called Makara Dvaj. The charming brows of the Supreme Personality of Godhead protect the sages and devotees from being charmed by material lust and sex attraction. Jamunacharya, the great Acharya, said that ever since he had seen the charming pastimes of the Lord, the charms of sex life had become abominable for him, and the mere thought of sex enjoyment would cause him to spit and turn his face. Thus, if anyone wants to be aloof from such sex attraction, he must see the smile and fascinating eyebrows of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I've always especially appreciated this verse because of Hasam Harer Avanata Kilalo Kativra Shokashru Sagara. The Shokashru Sagara is the ocean of lamentation. And poetically rendered here, that there's so much crying in the material world due to reversals of fortune that the ocean fills up. But if you see the face of the Lord just one time, in his smiling face, or if you remember him, then it dries up in an instant, the ocean of tears. So it's the most important activity that you're doing, just taking to the process of hearing, chanting, remembering Krishna, and giving other people an opportunity. It's the panacea. So keep up the great work, everybody. Today is Gopashtami. It's a special day in Vrindavan when the cows are worshipped very gorgeously. It's actually a day in Krishna's pastimes in Vraj when he turns from Komara to the Pauganda age. And very reluctantly, Mother Yashoda allows him to take out the cows. She follows after him 5-6 times. Did you eat enough? Did you take something with you? We'll send someone to cook for you. And when Krishna finally gets away with his friends and his cows, he feels great happiness that he can be independent and play freely with his friends. And it's mentioned in the Gopal Champu that on this, how Krishna, he's so adoring of his cows that he keeps a mala. It's got 108 jewel beads on it. Just as we chant 108 names of Krishna in one round, he chants the names of his cows and calls them every day, make sure that each one is taken care of. So we pray to Gopal, Gopashtami, on this special day of your birthday, to always help you to remember the beautiful face of the Lord and to show that face to as many people as possible. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Premanande. Hari Hari Bol.
Oh,
Maharaj, may I say one thing?
Yes.
I'm just so grateful that you have come and given your association. And the first time I saw you was in New Vrindavan 2016 Festival Inspiration, and you were signing your book, Our Family Business. And I just remember the seminars you gave that weekend, and it was just completely mind blowing. And I wasn't fortunate enough to have your association for a couple years until I got the Sangha of the Yuga Dharma Harinam Ashram devotees in New York through Gopal Champu Mahotsa and Ram Roy Prabhu, and they have been cultivating Krishna consciousness in me, that in the sense that in a time when I was in need, they came and saved me from a very great time of despair, and I actually got association of you again in one of the monthly Sankirtan festivals organized by Divyangi Mataji from ISKCON Brooklyn. And it was just so ecstatic distributing books with you in Atlantic Avenue and all those beautiful pristine pastime places of New York City. And it was just ecstatic to see book distribution. And Maharaj, I would just I've been associating with your family for a while now, and I humbly would like to request if you allow me shelter and be part of your family, and accept me as your aspiring disciple at 1,000 times over. If you will grant my request, I will be very grateful.
Tatastu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Maharaj.
This auspicious Gopashtami day. And thank you for those beautiful memories of book distribution, because there is nothing more you can't have any more fun or feel more connected than book distribution. It's the exhilarating activity of devotional service. And I'm so glad that you came in through Gopal Champu and Mahotsav and the other devotees, and that you have a taste for it. Because I've noticed throughout my years in ISKCON that those who have a taste for Sankirtan are able to have a successful devotional life and go the distance. So always hold on to the sound vibration of Prabhupada's books, read every day, and keep that vibration going, and always use your brain to figure out how to give more people the opportunity to take those books. And if you do those two things, it's rice and dal. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much, everybody. It was really nice to meet
Jai
you.
Vaisesika Prabhu ki
Jai! Hare Krishna!
Hare Krishna.
See you again soon. Hari Bol.
Hare
Hari Hari.
Please join us. Hare Krishna.
Guys, thank you all so much for joining. Oh,
This was the best birthday present ever.